What did my grandfather's sister say when she seen me?
She said you look just like her brother.
She thought I was my grandfather.
Then when Tony's sister walked up a few minutes ago,
She called me Tony.
She just walked up to him and called him Tony.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you were my brother.
I just told boss how I get called Tony most of the time.
why does Sherry like to start that kind of drama?
You remember old Sherry? You used to live across from me.
She's always drama.
But to clear the whole cloud up, I'm an Ivy to the fullest. Tell by my Ivy forehead, my Ivy nose, my Ivy chin, and my Ivy attitude, and my
Ivy ears.
Dumbo ears.
One of the viewers said, what about a DNA test?
I don't need a DNA test. I know for a fact.
He said if he sent you a home
You
kit,
sent me a DNA
if
test.
he sent you a home kit DNA test,
I would take it, but it wouldn't change anything. It would still be my dad.
regardless of the results.
Exactly.
But he knows for the fullest that that's his dad. So that's why he ain't worried about a DNA test. I even told him that I would pay for a DNA test for both of them.
When I was first born.
I wasn't the type of woman that slept around.
Right.
I only slept with 3 men my whole entire life. And one was not by choice.
Yep. So really, she only slept with 2 men. What she's saying, by choice, and one not by choice. It was by rape.
Sorry to hear that, Mom.
And she was.
I didn't know
14.
that. I had no idea you even been through anything like that.
She lost how many kids, Mama?
I lost 2 kids. I lost one by your dad and one by my ex-husband.
Remember I told you I had an older brother? That I wish I had a younger brother?
Yeah.
I was supposed to have a baby born the same day as Christopher.
Twins?
A year apart.
A year apart. I lost them because I had a cancerous tumor in my stomach.
And was taking 3 different types of birth control. How she found out she was pregnant with me is because she went into allergic shock because she was on birth control when she was pregnant.
I had the epi-arm thing in my arm.
The T.
And
And
when I got
taking birth
pregnant with
control.
him, and
You still ended up
broke.
pregnant with the thing in your arm?
Yeah.
Yep.
It
And
broke in
taking
my
birth
arm.
control,
When
boss.
they put it in, it was broke.
It broke in her arm. And she was taking birth control. And my dad wore a condom. A Jimmy.
But,
Fertile.
But that Jimmy didn't last too long in it. And I still popped up. And I was supposed to be born on...
Basically, the Jimmy ended up coming off.
Mm-hmm.
he was supposed to be born on Christmas Day. So was my other baby that I had
That's
lost.
why my name was Christopher, because I was named after Christ. But
That's pretty impactful.
I came 2.5
And
weeks
his
early.
dad's the one who named him.
He named me my full name. I was named after my grandfather, my dead cousin,
In Christ.
and Christ, and Santa Claus. Santa Claus' real name is Chris Kringle.
Tony spoke on, he started hearing stuff from his family and friends. How did he feel at the time as far as that situation going when they was saying what they were saying? Like,
He knew that they were lying. He knew that that was his son. He knows how I am. He knew that he was with me during the time.
He knew when I got old enough and me and him started butting heads because how much we was alike and thought alike.
Shoot, he knew when you popped out. First day he seen you. You ought to seen his eyes.
was his eyes wide?
Up and said your name.
He was really happy.
He named me. He named me after my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my cousin,
And Christmas.
Christmas, Christ, and Santa Claus, Chris Kringle. My full name is Christopher Nelson Ivey. Yes, Nelson, spelt like Nelson and Nelson Chiropractic. No, nothing similar. No, nothing related. I know not all the Ivies. Ivy is spelled I-V-E-Y, not I-V-Y. And not all I-V-E-Y Ivies is related either.
So, Mom, you and Tony never officially married?
No.
No, but they've been seeing each
We've
other
been together.
open and off since, what, 14, 15 years old after you lost the first one?
That's just like marriage.
They met right after.
I'm sure you had a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a ring.
She's got a ring. She's got an engagement ring.
But no, we never officially got married.
Do you plan on?
By us, we are married.
Yeah.
They've
We
been
don't
together.
have to have a paper to prove that we're married.
They've been
If
together.
you could have that dream marriage,
I'm 25.
would you have it?
Yeah, I would.
That's good.
Yeah, I would.
I'm 25. So that puts 25 years on the marriage right there.
Yeah.
By law.
That's just your 25,
That's
not
just my 25.
not including the other kids that were before you.
And the adopted ones.
30 plus then, I guess.
Yeah.
And the oldest kid is what? In their late 30s?
Yeah.
Yeah, in their late 30s. That's the
But
oldest
was
kid.
from a previous marriage. That was
Both.
his previous marriage.
Both parents had 2 kids in their previous marriage, but they've been seeing each other since they was 14, 15 years old.
So they always had an
I was
attachment.
14, 15. I was 13. Your dad was 18.
18. That's when he
So
first
y'all always had some kind of connection nobody could ever break.
separate or break
Yeah. We always wound back up
together. Like my mom always used
Was
to
there
tell me.
anybody in the family kind of not liking that or against that during that time back then?
Yeah. His ex-wife and
My godmom that says she's my godmom that don't really have nothing to do with me. His 2 from the previous marriage, ex-wife. But
That was kind of funny, Chris. It wasn't like I'm laughing, but the way you said that, like that was
she's supposed to be my godmom, but she don't have really nothing to do with me.
his ex-wife.
yeah. Actually, we were friends.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get
We're
that.
friends.
So the ex-wife was supposed to be.
Actually, the ex-wife was up there when he was born.
But she did that on purpose, where my dad couldn't take off
'Cause
from
he
watching
was
the kids
all
to
the
come
other
up
5.
there. But you know, he still came up there and he saw my birth certificate. He still
He
on my
come
birth
up there the
certificate.
next day and signed the birth certificate.
But his ex-wife would not allow him.
But they
to-
were still together at the time.
No,
No.
no.
Neither was her.
Me and him were together for a while.
I was 20. I'm 25. They was together for at least 15, 20 years before I was born,
Off and on.
off and on.
But before you were born, we were together for
You was together since Jerry
about
was.
7 years? 8
Jerry-
years?
Jerry was what?
Since 92, we were together.
And my brother was born in 91, so that means
Yeah.
2-3 years when.
I
after
left
he
my
was born.
ex-husband after my son Jerry was born. He was like
Which
8
is
months
my-
old
My
because we were having
my next
complications.
old.
Welcome to
older
the
brother.
creek.
And like I said before, I don't have a half brother. I don't have a step brother. I don't have an adopted brother or
Right.
sister.
I raised y'all as all as one.
And we love each other as one.
Yep.
Family. That's all. Family.
There's no sense in half brothers, half sisters,
And we
I don't
got
believe
raised.
it.
adopted.
It's either you got blood together or you don't.
It's
got-
all blood.
You know,
It's all blood. And
We sat at
two
the
adopted-
same table.
you slept together
I slept
in the same
had-
under the same roof.
under the
the
same
same
roof.
it was
Every birthday I honored, every Christmas I honored.
They remember.
All the kids.
They
No
remember.
matter
I
what.
never treated none of them different.
Different.
None of them.
You know how I was
How
telling
many
you?
was you steps to, Mom?
I had
You had 2
Tony's-
adopted
2 adopted
and 2.
nephews that were by his sister, and then I had
Anthony
2
and
from a previous marriage, and Tony had 2
2.
from a previous marriage.
I'm the only one.
Not including Tony's nephews that
That
y'all
was
raised.
the 2 that was adopted.
adopted.
We adopted them. That
And-
we raised.
So all together,
I had 7 kids in my home.
That was during the time Tony's sister had her affair going on, what she had going on with her situation.
Yeah.
that and her mental state and stuff.
Yeah.
I worked a full-time job,
And my
pregnant with him,
mom and dad
adopted 2 kids while I was pregnant with him.
didn't get no support from the government
Didn't get no
or child support.
from the government or nothing. I raised them. Tony worked. I worked.
I worked.
I was pregnant with him. I raised 6 other kids.
My summer vacations was working since I was 10 years old. That's how I started working. I got taught at a very young age, if I wanted what I want, I have to work what I want. So, welcome to the creek.
So you've been working basically since you was a young kid.
I done roofing at first. And I worked on my dad.
Tony told me that your boss man didn't pay you all your money. He owes you $100 and something bucks, and
160 to be exact.
haven't worked in probably about half a week or 3-4 days.
You know, last time he worked me, I cut about a half of a shower with a grinder instead of a water.
A wet
water
saw.
towel-
Wet saw.
Wet saw. Towel cutter. And I.
You know you gotta have a wet saw. You can't cut it with a grinder.
You can't cut it with.
That's messy work.
You can't cut it with the scriber and break it.
So that's
either.
not your fault because you don't provide the tools.
I told him before, boss.
What he needed.
He needed a wet saw.
You told him he needed a wet saw.
I said,
And he insisted that.
no. He came and got me. Told me he had a wet saw before I even got to the job. When I got to the job, he then shows me that he had a scriber and a breaker that was dual. The scriber was already dual. And then, since I insisted, because it was dual, it kept chipping and breaking the
So
towel.
very dull.
Yeah. He needed a new blade on it.
Okay.
I said, I thought I'd ask you to get a wet saw. He said, I didn't have time to get it. I said, man, you can go rent one for 40, 42 bucks for a half a day.
At Home Depot.
Or Lowe's. Lowe's rent them too.
No, they don't.
Some do.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Some stores do. But he could have rented one. I was only working a half a day. Came and got me around 10 o'clock. I didn't get to the job.
He didn't want to spend the money on it, it sounds like.
And then whenever I get to the job, started working, about 2.5 hours in, I asked him, okay, we only working half a day. We ain't been by the store. You ain't paid me no per diem, no money this morning at all. I done waited 2 hours on plus the 2.5 hours of me working. So, man, why don't you just give me $20 per diem where I can go get me a pack of cigarettes, something to drink, and something to eat?
That's all you was asking for.
That's all I was asking for. He got pissed off, said he didn't have no money to give me. Then I asked him about the 160, because I put back, see, I just told the man, pay me 10 bucks an hour. And technically I worked way past 8-9 hours. But I wasn't about to hold him over it, and I wasn't about to count him for it. But I was about to tell him that he was going to pay me what he needed to pay me. Because, I mean, I put back...
He pays you $10 an hour.
$10 an hour and only paid me $20 per diem in the mornings and $40 at the end of the day. All through the week.
You know, when we work together, I don't pay you like that.
I know.
I pay you a lot better than that.
Yep.
To be honest.
And then he wants to say, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to lay towel or cut towel. How you